on everybody? David Mitchell here, and Violet right over there in the background. Hold on, let me turn the TV up. There we go. That right there. Oop. Oh.
Guys, clarification. We don't have relationship issue, guys. If you guys wonder, it's just that we gotta work someone behind the scene, you know?
Yeah. Someone been trying to spread rumors. Don't know who, but I reported them.
Yep.
With their comment. So, yeah. But if you guys know what today is, it's a very rough and tragic day in U.S. history. And, Val, you was 6 at the time. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
I was 3 at the time. When the September 11th terrorist attacks happened. So I do remember them vaguely when I was younger. And yes, you want to say it?
What?
Come on.
I already farted.
Did you fart?
No.
No.
I mean, you had a bowl haircut.
Yeah.
But you look good, and you told me not to cut it too short.
I know.
But you look sexy with that, trust me.
You heard from Val. See you in the background,
Look. What, do you want a haircut that doesn't suit you? Come on, you don't want to be a Jimmy Neutron, or you don't want to be a Rugrats guy, or you don't want to be Seth, or you don't want to be like the baby Family Guy. Family Guy, woohoo!
But yeah, but
Day, I drink that. Day.
Oh, I gotta get the towel.
Come on, David, you're making it easy.
Get a towel.
Oh,
Right now, baby. Sorry, guys. A little goofy tonight, but today make 20 years since the September 11th terrorist attack. So, yeah. So I can't believe it's been.
Caution is out.
Are you having another? Val eating cookies. Maybe. Come show them.
No.
How about you?
No. Day, easy.
She eating cookies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But it's been a.
Oh,
I cannot believe it.
Mess with my drinking water now.
I'm sorry.
God.
But yeah. But it's shocking how much have changed in the last 20 years. Like, one of my friends, he from New York, he way older than me, he's seen what happened. One of my friends that I went to high school, he lost a family member in the Twin Towers. So, yeah. So, I do know people who have experienced it in person. I have never experienced, but I have seen them on live TV on the day that it happened. So today it's pretty tough for a lot of people. But also, another thing, today is officially the last day of quarantine for me. So, or technically, tomorrow would be fully, but I'm now able to go out. I still can't go to work. Protocol. Can't go to work until the 13th. But I'm now able to go out and hang out with people now. I still gotta wait 2 days before I'm able to go out. So
They don't prank on your wife with this.
so yeah, so quarantine is finally coming to an end. So, but it is a little tough right now because Mama is in the hospital. So yeah, so working is going to be a little bit crazy. So yeah, but
Sorry, Day.
But it did crazy. Now, well, they'll go do something. Let me bring up some of that. Not just the community are getting sick and tired of it getting fucking tased. I'll be on. Autistic adult get tased. The autistic adult was tased 8 times. And it pissed me off because we get, even though some autistic people are black and some are white, if you're autistic, you still get segregated. It doesn't mean anything. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have a brain fart because it right there do get me upset, and I do start brain farting and getting upset on shit like this. But what happened to the autistic adult was wrong. Sad thing is, it does happen to people in our community all the fucking time. We get segregated. And I mean segregated to hell and back. In schools, in jobs. Heck, sometime in the workplace they take advantage of us. So, yeah. Like, and police brutality too. If you pay attention enough, you can actually see it. There are reasons why autistic people remotely don't come out and remotely try to stay in all the time. Because of how we are treated by society. And some are getting sick and tired of it. And good thing now that we have the internet, because we're able to group up, talk about our problem, and say what we feel and what we want to change. So, yeah. Val doing stuff, so, yeah. She went in the bathroom. But what happened to the autistic adult was wrong. Alright, she's back. Oof, that is a little too bright.
You look cute with that bright light, trust me.
I know. But, yeah. Hold on, let me bring 1 minute. That Sodar Fallout. Yes. Up. Spooky. Calvin. Oh no. Come on, baby. I'm talking about something serious.
Boop, boop. Sorry, Day. I'm sorry.
Autistic adult get tased 8 times.
I'm sorry, Day. Did I hurt you that way?
No. But I do want you to come over here and read something.
No. Oh no. Oh no. I can't read the whole thing, Day. You just explain it.
Well, I want you to go and do more depth than me. And I'm not doing the video on here.
Because the reason why we don't want to read too much of the article because we avoid the copyright and miscredits,
Mm-hmm. But a nonverbal male, nonverbal autistic, I'm not going with autism. What did TASED mean?
Taste.
Oh, taste?
Taste.
Oh,
Like,
that's how you spell tase? Would tase multiple times during work with a.
wait, where is that? To work with a. Oh, where are you reading?
I'm right here. I'm not after.
Tased multiple times during encounter with Glenn County police officer and enforcer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did what my wife just said happen. And I'm not going to lie. And because did part was non-verbal, not wrong. Like, did what happened for the non-verbal autistic who can't speak? When it comes to segregating, some people do take advantage. It's awful. Val, baby. Val, boo.
Yeah.
I need did when you were younger, when you were still nonverbal, did anybody try taking advantage of you?
Like by the police officer or something?
No, like try taking advantage and making fun of you and bullying you.
A lot.
You want to come into the camera and tell them about that?
That's gonna be too personal, but that'll be some other time. But I'm gonna put a little. I'm gonna put a little thing. I'm sorry, I did my thing. I'm a ghost.
Ew, that better.
I'm a ghost. And David's trying to mess with me.
Mm-hmm.
I love brighter lights because they look great.
I know. But what happened, like, I was nonverbal until I was about 7 or 8 for me. And when I was around 8 to 9, I started using the computers and the internet. So I did have experience with it before, but I started getting really into it when I was around 8 or so, and I started looking up stuff and did it on my grandma's old computer. Oops, excuse me. Long ago. And it was a crazy time. And I mean crazy. Like, my grandma had one of those big blocky computers, like the old ones. It was before the flat screen started getting popular in houses. So yeah, it was long ago. So you got rid of that big computer sometime around 2010, 2012. But yeah, and a lot of crazy stuff happened then. Like, and I mean literally.
Excuse you.
Sorry, everybody. Excuse me. Oh, I know someone going to meme that. If someone meme that, you better send it to me. But yeah. But the thing is, back then, we get to take advantage of a lot, even by your own parent. You gotta know, I already talked about this before about my deadbeat sperm donor or my real dad. Because I was nonverbal and I did not start speaking up and started talking until I was around 8 or 9. He used to beat the living shit out of me for dumb reason, just for fun. he was pretty messed up. And there are stuff that I can't go into detail what he did, but it was disgusting, and it infuriated me on the shit he did. But yeah. Still get chills on stuff he did work. Even my stepmom. Long story short, he got what came to him. I have not seen him since 2012. Or technically not 2012, 2011 be more exact. Jack, it was 2011 that last time I seen him. And I was glad I have not seen him since then. So, yeah. But it's been a long time since then. But people will take advantage of you. Even in schools. Like, some students will literally treat you like shit. Like, back when I'm going to call the school out, Fireson Elementary and Angel Oak. Fireson Elementary and Angel Oak Elementary, what 2 words? I'll be honest, they are 2 words elementary schools. I would say in South Carolina, if you have an autistic kid, don't send them to school because of how bad they are. And that coming from someone who went there. I know it's been over 20 years, or technically it's been almost 20 years since I went to those schools, like, almost, but it's been almost 20 years for Angel Oak, probably about almost 12, maybe 15 years. It's been a long time. I'm 23 now, so it's been a pretty long time, but I started when I was around 4 and 5, because my birthday fall on August 25th, so yeah. So that what saying that we gave me the head start, and what reason why I was able to start high school when I was 13 years old. Yes, first week of high school I was 13, so big whoop. I would have been graduating at 17, but instead I graduated at 18 back in 2017. So yeah, but let's get back to what I was talking about. Those two are the worst elementary school that I would say that are here in South Carolina if you're living in rural country. I'm not sure for the Midland and the upstate. That could be different, but for the coast, I would have to go with them too. Because of the shit they put me through. Birthday elementary school, Angel Oak. Well, a very bad experience, and it would tell me how my elementary school life is going to be. Awful. They had a playground for special needs students, and they had one for the normal kids. The normal kids one was clean as hell. The one for the special need was dirty, muggy, and it looked like you were caged in.
Yikes. That's gross.
The playground is a lot nicer there now. I do sometimes, when I do go over to my grandma, I do sit up and a train coming. What train will it be? And it's the auto train. Auto train down to Florida. There's the horn. But what I was saying is that back then, if you were autistic or if you had a mental disability, you were not going to have a good childhood. Trust me, back then a lot was shittier for us. It still is in some areas. But back then, I picked up a beer bottle that was on the playground actually, and I didn't know it was recyclable, and I was going to throw it away before I even got a chance to get to the garbage can. Right in my hand. Like, it exploded in my hand. I had shards in my skin, bone, and some guy probably heard me say this story long ago, but
Sorry, guys, if you notice, I just post Instagram stuff.
yeah, she doing a lot on her Instagram. But Dane exploded in my hand, and I mean exploded. I had stitches in my hand, and it was technically what I can remember and what my mom said, if I can remember, that they were probably going to put my hand in a cast, but they decided not to. Because they said if it was a little deeper and there were more damage, she would have. But she didn't. So, yeah. But it was pretty messed up. But, yeah. Oof. A little bit gassy. But it did a crazy time back then. I only was there for 2 years before they quit doing the no child left behind thing. And because I was part of that, my mom moved me to Firestone not knowing the shit that they did. Like, they used to lock me in a bathroom because we had a bathroom in the room. This school, the elementary school, was previously a military school back in the day. And Watermore, I can't say it properly, they bought the school and they turned it into an elementary school. It's still shitty. Like, the same building that was there when I used to go there, and building had rat infestation, cockroach infestation, spider infestation. It was that bad. That's how bad that school is. Worse yet, the teacher used to make fun of me and used to get me in trouble on purpose to make it saying, oh, they were being bad, and they used to lock me in the bathroom in the dark. And there was spiders in there. Back then I had arachnophobia. I still do a little bit. Not as much as what back then. I was terrified of spiders. I'm a little bit, I'll be honest. But back then, they used to lock me in the bathroom, and the kids got into it, and they used to get me in trouble. So, yeah. They used to get me in trouble a lot just for fun. And they used to get away with, heck, even on the buses. Like one time, I got bit on my arm, on my shoulder, and I still got in trouble. The other kid knew he was going to bring me down with him, and I was trying to protect myself. Like, literally, the other kid actually bit me on the back. And I still got in trouble. Which was pretty messed up. But, yeah. Like, schools out there, like some of the smaller school out in some of the more remote area of South Carolina, like some of the smaller town and stuff, can be pretty bad. Even on some of the smaller islands, like Laudamore, I can say it properly. But what happened were pretty shitty. I still have memories from how bad that school is. finally, when I was around 9, back in 2008, with about 13 years ago, or not 13 years. It will be 13 years really soon, but it's been 12 to 13 years. Like, all right, let me check. Yeah, it was 13 years. My bad. But it's been that long. So it's been 13 years since I went to that elementary school. Like, they treated me like shit, and finally, my mom caught them red-handed because she was there, and they slipped up in front of her, and when she did, she nearly went off on them. She nearly chewed their asses. They slipped up and got caught red-handed, and they tried to play dumb about it, and my mom nearly tore into them on shit they did. Like, because another kid was trying to get me in trouble for something I did not did, and the teacher believed that my mom was paying attention. Did bring your parent to school day or something? Can't remember because it was a couple weeks before summer began. Like about 2, maybe 3 weeks before summer began. Now there was one good teacher there. I can't remember her name. About 1 to 2 of them were good, but the substitute and the third teacher would come in because the other teacher was on leave because she had kids, like she had a baby. She went out, and the bad ones used to come in and used to bully the shit out of me. Like, seriously, I don't know how in the hell some of these teachers get their jobs. Finally, there was only one other school that had the No Child Left Behind program, and that Mount Zion Elementary, which was pretty good. So, what we did was we transferred me to there, and stuff turned out getting better. Except for that one instance that I got kicked, or not kicked, but hit in the ball sack so hard with a dodge ball, I actually peed myself. Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing and painful, but it's pretty hard when you get hit with a dodge ball right in your groin, in your ball sack. Like, literally. Like, that's how hard I got hit by a dodge ball. So, yeah. That I still have memory of. And I was 10 at the time. I was a preteen. Preteen begin when you're 10 and ends when you're 13. So I already started to begin the tween or preteen stage. And boy, there was some embarrassing shit, like literally. Now there was another time that I had a dry hurt so bad I did pee myself too. Well, on the computer, like I had a dry hurt using the computer so bad. It literally hurt so bad, it caused me to pee myself. And that one thing I will never forget, having so much pain that made you pee yourself. And that was when I was 10, and I don't know. Both times when I was 10, I think the second time was leftover pain from when I got hit by that dog ball, which was probably the thing that affected right here the most. But yeah, I still love dog ball, but I'm a little bit more careful when it comes to playing. So I learned the hard way with that. Then the year after that, when I was 11, I started at Mount Zion Elementary, and That was the year that I really got into computers and stuff, and I started learning. And they still had me branded as mentally retarded at the time, which is the reason why we need to do away with the autism type thing, like rating system, and we just need to go with being all autistic. Because when we have that system like the autism system, it's technically a form of segregation, which it's something I brought up earlier. At the point of this, like if you get branded as mentally retarded when you were younger, you get fucked and screwed. Even if you have capability, it took me doing shit, art, like literally, I did art damn good. Like you gotta remember some of my train photo and people photos. The train photos is what I started with first. 13 was Alco RS2 that I did with a OG diesel switcher locomotive. One of my favorite.
Sorry, guys. I've been checking stuff,
And
excuse me. I'm charging my phone, by the way, guys.
What I did is that I did so much art up until my last year of middle school. This was my second to last year of middle school. And I was doing the train simulator thing on tablets that they did GAVA in my meeting, and they actually reevaluated me and quickly took me off of being retarded and actually put me in the high functioning area of what they call Asperger. For people, we don't use that phrase anymore because of Asperger being related to Nazis, because of the person who coined the term. So now that we are now conscious about the word and what it really means and the person who used it, we don't use it anymore. Heck, they now changed it to autism spectrum disorder. But people in the autistic community, you know the reason why I use autism is to reverse psychology and to getting people to learn and see how autistic people feel. And what I did to explain to a friend that long ago, Joel talked to him back in 2018 when I first started this series. I explained to him that I used it to get people who are still thinking of a word autism, get them to realize what autistic people feel and what we do. But let me get back on the topic. That they are still going to use autism until we eventually successfully get them to finally let go of that and say, yeah, you're autistic. Yeah, autistic people, they're a different mindset and a different brain. Because our brains are different to neurotypicals. Isn't that right, babe?
Mm-hmm.
Babe, like...
Can you Valley Poo?
Valley Poo. My wife been wanting me to call her Valley Poo from Stranger Chain because if you gotta remember from a previous live stream, we found out that the new season of Stranger Chain might begin on New Year's Day. Probably either New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. So, let's get started. So, yeah.
We wanted to have it's a commercial break. We want to name ourselves like if we're married, we this mostly if you're in a relationship, you then have to call them babe, hey baby. But we're not babies anymore, dudes. You mustard seeds.
I know, but
that's the reason why me and David came up with Dave Bun, Jelly Poo. Just to break the norm. Like, you're not babies anymore. Oh, baby, baby, baby. It's only existed in Britney Spears' song. Oh, baby, baby. Oh, baby, baby. Not in real life if you're an adult. I'm just trying. It's up to you if you want, but it is just our own thing. Like, we want to break the norm. Like, every time, if you're married, you don't call yourself baby, babe. Me and David wanted to call ourselves Davy Bun and Valley Pooh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got inspired by Stranger Things, though, so.
Yep. Stranger Things. Being at there at Stranger Things Autism going on here in South Carolina in a couple of weeks. Found out on Facebook today that there is a Stranger Things Autism.
Like you gotta do like an extra to the character, to the lead character, and just at least do some little speaking tone extra, blah blah blah. I don't care, but that's gotta be cool. But for now, I have to pray about it because we're still in the quarantine, and some are not well.
True.
You have to think about other people too. For me, that thing can wait. But I don't want to miss this opportunity. But for now, we're quarantined, and
But yeah.
And that'll be hard because I don't have a ride. So.
But let me get back to what.
Let's get back to what you're going to talk about, which is
the
autism thingy.
And reason why, because the autism thing and the rating system with it supports segregating against autistic people and disabled.
Mm-hmm.
This was the thing that nearly fucked me head over heel back in school.
Sykes.
Like, I guarantee, and I mean I fucking guarantee, if I did not have that thing that probably saved my fucking ass from being put in a mental hospital when I got done with everything with that re-diagnosis. That re-diagnosis is what saved my fucking ass. Like, they could have said, oh, he's still retarded, and kept on putting me in special need room. Like, it did screw up and made it harder for me to read. Like, I still have some hard times reading, but I am getting better. Took me a long time because of them bastards, but what happened back then, it's something that I'm still pissed about. Like, I guarantee I would probably, instead of being in resource in high school, I would have probably been in special needs. Like, literally. I would have probably been in special need in the backside at school. Probably not being able to do shit. Probably be treated like a baby. Talking baby shit. All that. Like, literally, people in our community, they expect it to be, oh, babies. Like, oh,
like babies.
Like, play with baby toys. Watch baby TV shows. So, yeah. They actually expect that from autistics. And I guarantee I would have got fucked. And then after that I would, if I had got done with school, I would have probably been 21, probably been a couple months at house, and then they would have probably took me and probably put me in a mental hospital or one of them care homes. Which I don't support those because of the fucked up shit that go on in those places.
And the sanitary and the hygiene, because different people came and go to that care,
And then sexual assault, all that. So I did dodge a bullet from something that would probably segregate me. Me ended up backfiring on them. I was able to be put in resource, like resource classes and not the special needs. Like, we did have special need classes there, but we also had resource. The resource was for students who could act a lot more normal of what they call it. So, yeah. So that happened. And here, Jane, no one in normal And I'm not even joking. Did think about it.
Oh my god.
I ate a taco tonight and the macaroni and cheese. So, yeah, that reason why I'm gassy. But thing is that I know. Thing is that segregation for autistic people is pretty bad in our school system. So, yeah, that's up in that we got to change. And boy, and I mean boy, we got to change what been going on. So yeah. So that need to be changed, and I think we need to have a leg up into what's going on. But yeah, it's crazy. But with what happened to me in middle school that last year, at least saved my ass, and I was able to do a lot of projects and make it to high school and do a lot more. They was going to try to hold me back in middle school one more year, but because it wrote No Child Left Behind program, I was able to make it to high school. And ironically, it actually ended that year, and they were going out. We tried to put me into St. John with it, a awful high school. With they don't have resource, but they do have special need classes. Would have been bad. So I dodged and bullet right there. And what happened is when I started my first week of high school, a lot of crazy shit happened. What high school was a mixed bag for me, I'll be honest. If you watch some of my original videos from 2014, which 2014, 2015, and 2016, and probably a little bit in 2017, you would probably notice a lot of stuff going on, like literally, but it was just crazy. And I heard another train horn, but what happened back then was pretty fucked up.
Excuse me, Day.
Yeah, babe?
Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not gonna brought up about my personal stuff for now, because honestly, I'm not ready for that. It will take me a lot of days to reminisce those past memories that I got with your question. So, but
yeah,
back to you.
But what happened back then were pretty fucked up. Like literally, like I would. A lot of shit is fucked up in my life. So yeah. Like, if you gotta remember when I called out my teacher, Miss Nettles, you know how I feel.
Miss Noodles.
You gotta know how I feel about her. She really wanted to.
That, guys, excuse me.
Asshole.
Stuff happening, guys. I'm sorry. Urgent.
Yeah. What happened was pretty fucked up.
Yep.
Is that your mom?
No. It's about the meeting this morning, but I can't. I might lose some sleep.
I know. I want a train coming. What if...
Day, excuse me.
I'm gassy.
Oh, you're feeling gassy now, ain't you?
Train coming. Train coming. Just 1 minute, guys. That engine. Oh, there he is. Kind of ironic having a window poking out, seeing trains come through, you know? But yeah, but she was an asshole toward to me, and she was very manipulative.
Who?
My teacher,
Miss Noodles?
McNettles.
Mac Noodles? I call Mac Noodles.
All right, well, I'd say we're going to give my asshole teacher that name, McNoodles.
Mac Nuggets?
Miss Noodles.
I love noodles, but she looks like a piece of nugget that would, once it's cold, it's hard to eat.
Because fur bullshit happened on my birthday. It was my birthday, and I was acting to get on the computer because I wanted to do some stuff. Find some railroad photos to do artwork on. She got pissed with me. Punished me for a month not being allowed to get on the computer in any classes. They made the made-up bullshit to my parent, and they bought it. She was very manipulative, and they believed her. That thing about being autistic, most of our parents and neurotypicals won't believe her. With part of segregation, it's like if you're a black person and they don't believe you, you know? Or Asian, or any other minority. White can be a minority too, so I'm just going to bring that up. It depends on where you are at in any country. But, yeah. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I just don't. But she was a pretty dick. I'll be honest, she was a sexy person at first. Yes, my teacher was one of those.
Sexy person?
Well, one of those hot teachers, but
What?
she
A
was
playboy?
an ass. And yes, I was one of those preteen boys that said, ooh, hot. So, yeah, but when she pulled that shit, I said, fuck this. So, I started realizing how much of an ass she is. And I did mature, and I started realizing the shit that go on with me that was happening to me were not right. And fun thing is I ended up like you guys know about story plenty of times that I was supposed to graduate when I was 17, but instead that everybody bugged me to jail for one more year, and I ended up graduating when I was 18. The bullshit that happened was pretty fucked up. I decided to know what the fuck it, I'm just gonna be a loner in my last year of high school. I did have a good amount of friends in my second to last year of high school and in my last year of high school. But I did have a lot of fake friends, back in my freshman year, sophomore year, and 50-50 in junior year. But I decided that, you know what, just fuck it. I'm not gonna mess around anymore. And I just said, just fuck it, and I'm not falling for your shit. Like, literally. I did still have some good friends, and I still do. I was talking to one of my old class members from high school a couple hours ago, who is also a fellow YouTuber. And his YouTube channel name is Wowzer Gaming. Which, let me find it on YouTube. Well, and I'll put the link to his YouTube channel down in scripting down. Or not in scripting, but in chat. 1 minute, guys. But segregating did still happen to me in high school. But it was not as prevalent like it was back when I was in elementary school. And halfway in middle school. Like, literally. So, yeah. That's something that I can still remember. Fun thing is, I actually had 2 classes in my last year of not high school, but middle school. I did an A and B day type thing. do, but ironically boost my grade. Ironically, it literally boosted my grade because I did an A and B day schedule, one for PE and one in art. With it kind of did help save my ass a little bit. So yeah. But yeah, did crazy. Oh, 1 minute. It's gonna take me a minute to go to my friend YouTube channel. But the YouTube channel allows her gaming. You chill a little bit that I got over 200 subscribers. And then look back.
Sorry, guys. I'm just typing stuff. I'm talking to important people.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Wowzer gaming. 1 minute. It's taking me a minute because there we go. He a friend of mine, and I'm getting ready to put his link in. His YouTube channel been around since 2017. My YouTube channel a little older than his is with like 3 years, if you guys remember. Like, let's go to there, but let me put it in chat. 1 minute, guys. There we go. So, if you guys are interested in, go to his channel link right there in chat. But it's been crazy. Like, he one of my friends. And it's crazy in a way. But yeah. I'm gassy. But what happened back then in school system, like, this school system outly favor like assholes instead of people that have hidden talents. Like, literally. And it's up and I'm saying, for autistics, some it's a miracle if we make it to college or to a trade school, like, or to something that we are passionate about, like me in journalism and doing editing. So with it, part of the thing that I'm doing, but eventually when we get off the ground, we'll start getting paid for it, which is something big. So yeah. So that's crazy, and I do have a voice. Like, I really do. And we are making it different. I did talk about some stuff about the day being September 11th, the 20th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attack. Uh-oh.
Sorry, guys.
See you in a chat war with someone in that rate?
Not chat. We're like keeping up an open communication with some people. with some important people.
Mm-hmm. But
I don't want to ignore people, so
True. But what happened
Excuse me, guys.
is pretty shitty back then. Like literally. But it been crazy the last couple of
Excuse me,
years.
guys.
Like it's something I brought up back into my previous writing stream about Miss Nettles, aka Mint Noodles, or not Mint Noodle, but Nettles. But I call her Mint Noodles because of my wife. Wife saying that railroading is dying when, surprise, surprise, it's fucking not. Railroading out and making a comeback. Like, I'm just going to bring it up about railroading. Like, down in Florida, Brightline, first privately owned patent rail system since the 1980s. So, yeah, that's pretty nuts. And it's good. And it's a big sign that railroading is starting making a comeback here in the U.S. Texas, getting ready to break the ground on Texas Central. And California, slow as they be for building the high-speed rail system. And in Eureka, California, partly rebuilding and reopening tracks because those tracks have been closed since 1996 from a disaster, flood, or earthquake, if I can remember. It's been so long. Partly being rebuilt to be a coal hauling line, and partly bring back our freight, grain, wheat, lumber, all of that because of the port. And there is a strategic value in California that rebuilding the track there. So there is a lot of justification on rebuilding it and how it's set up. So if I was them, I would go ahead and rebuild that track and do it. So yeah, that's something that need to be done because it could partly help because of the port right there. So yeah. But my freaking high school teacher told me that, and fucked up, Gina. Yeah, we said I would never fall in love, never get married. Said I would probably be alone, probably be in a caregiving home. In fact, flat, we proved her fucking wrong. Now, do you see this? So you're probably going to try to call my parent. Probably you would try to tell them, hey, stop your son from making up claims that are actually real. So if you see this middle, F off. You're not getting away with any of your bullshit that you did to me. Yeah, I think this thing is broken.
Careful.
I'm talking about the charger. Yeah. Yeah, that totally bent up. But what happened back then was pretty messed up. There we go. Or that thing probably had fully charged. Well, let me check.
Powering on. Ready to pair.
But yeah.
Paired.
One minute, guys. But it been crazy. Huh.
Powering off.
It had 7%, meaning not odd. Probably, let me check. Oh, it's not broken. It pulled out. Oopsie. Oh, there we go. It was not broken, so I was wrong. But what did say my teacher ever listened to this? You should be scared for shit you did wrong. Because karma gonna get you. And when it do, it gonna be your chain. But yeah. Like, she literally told me that railroading is going to die. To an autistic. Telling railroading is dying. Making up bullshit. Just to tear me down. And that happened to a lot of autistics. Because of segregation. And because of how teachers are. She's still a bad teacher because my coworker, his name, he also a fellow YouTuber named Michael. He's 14. Not 14, but 16 actually. He is 16-year-old co-worker of mine that I work with who work part-time, just like me.
Sorry, I slapped my finger.
He goes to my high school and he had my old not middle school, but high school teacher, and my God, stuff that I heard from him that she is definitely a shitty person, Jill. Like, he confirmed everything that I think about her. Because of the bullying and shit she did to us.
Excuse me.
So, yeah. Heck, she even think Michael is single with a coworker of mine. He literally, not him, but she literally think he is single when he is not.
Sorry, guys.
So, yeah. So, yeah. The only one that my asshole teacher did not make fun of was my...
Daniel?
No, not Daniel, but long story short, well, my BFF Madison.
Mm-hmm. They.
She did not make fun. I know, babe, but I think it wanted that type of live stream. But literally, no reason why she did not disrespect her because her parents want money, and plus, the thing about her was she was higher up and she was part of the cheerleading squad.
Oh, I know cheerleading squad.
Yeah, did you know my BFF Madison was part of the cheerleading squad?
No.
And yes, she was the girl that I took to prom. She was also autistic.
And I know some cheerleading girls are popular girls, right? Or just talented dancers.
Mm-hmm. Well, she told my best friend, and I've been telling her to propose to her boyfriend, who is also autistic. I've been trying to tell her to get her thing down to the ground, But she was one that I went to high school with. And I probably trying to find Michael channel. But yeah. Michael sentence.
I know that if I weren't your wife, Madison might be your wife.
No, I would have probably been chill single. Because
Now what?
Madison we started dating her boyfriend the day after prom.
Are you serious?
Yeah, after I took her to prom, I waited too long. That one thing when you start wanting to date, you never wait until you think the moment is right.
My relationship history is just having a lot of crushes. That's it. Guy crush. I had a crush on a college guy, and I dated this guy until there's rumors running around that I might be a bad girl, some because I'm autistic. Fortunately, the way you think of me before, it changed. So, I didn't know that it's part of life, but
it is.
then my mom told me, I hope this guy will not impregnate you. And in my case, it's the opposite. Like, your parents will choose a guy for you. I mean, we'll see if this guy that you dated is good for them.
Now, for parents who try to choose their daughter boyfriends for them, I'm disgusted with you, and the ones who try to pick a girl for their son, I'm disgusted with you, because that's not right, and that's just awful. Like, literally.
Actually, in my high school, I never planned to be in a relationship until I graduated college. Like, that's really my goal, not to get married until I'm graduated college. But
plans change. That one thing with life, you gotta learn that stuff will change. And they're stereotype and part of segregating in the high school system.
Sometimes I have to get back to it sometimes, David,
Well,
sometimes I have to get back to the previous plans that you made. You have to go back to that if you really wanted something like that.
I know.
Like my history with the relationship, like I didn't have any relationship, and the reason why my name was Vel, because they thought that I'm not gonna get married or something, but really I before, like, I didn't have intention to get married till I graduated college and had a business or do my singing career. My singing career blows off, but 2016 is actually like I don't care moment for me when it comes to choosing someone. It started in VK that I choose to talk to different guys. If this guy was faithful enough to be with me, and if I'm faithful to the guy, of course, it's not one way. It's a two-way street. It takes two to tango. Like,
that's true.
The guy will always be good for you. It should be you who's always to be the responsible one. And well, majority of the VK courtship. I might say shit. No, I said courtship. So we're finding the guy, like. I secretly wanted to be in a relationship, but I said I kept in mind with my career, kept in mind with my study, because I'm an overachiever in life. And like I keep focused on my singing career a lot and school because I'm a scholar. And I don't want my relationship to be a source of distraction, It was 2016 that I decided to go discover the Spectrum singles. Like, I'm sorry, it's a complicated live show that we're having right now. We're changing topics at time to time, but there is this time that, I thought when I heard that the Spectrum singles, yes, okay, just create a profile, and then David came into the email.
And ironically, what year did you start a Spectrum single?
What year did I get the Spreader single?
Charted Spectrum single.
It's way, way long before it defunct.
Like, was it during 2016 or before that?
Before that.
Because for people who don't know, I started my dating profile on Spectrum single in 2016, a week after my 18th birthday. So yeah, I did turn 18, and the week to 2 weeks after my birthday, I charted mine. So yeah, so that was something that I charted. So yeah,
And I'm like,
And-
seriously, like we ask each other that if me and David weren't married, like, you know, like there's some things that way. Like, what if David wasn't married? What if Belle wasn't married?
mhm.
You serious that you gotta be single?
Yeah, and 2016 it also the year I started my Facebook account.
And
Yes, so I will wait to the game like I'm maybe a Zoomer, but I'm one of the late Zoomers.
Ah.
So don't judge me.
Hey David, can you get back to my story? Because you get a lot of the spotlight.
Yeah, sorry.
No, because here's the thing, like if like me prior to the relationship, like if me and David weren't together, weren't in a relationship, I don't know. I'm not saying that I'll be alone. I mean, for me, it's good to be alone because you got to discover your. This is a what if, okay? A what if me and David weren't together? Like, of course, that thing might happen or something. Of course, you don't. You done told me plans change. The world revolves around changes. You know, like
Mhm.
it's just like, what if David wasn't a train watcher? What if Bella is not a singer? What if David wasn't married to me? What if I don't get married to David before? Like, for me, if I weren't married yet to David, I would have gone, pursuing my career in singing or in auto racing or finishing my college because that's my goal. I did a promise to the sponsor who gave me scholarship. I promised before I get married to my fiance, I will never forget to graduate.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, plans do change.
Yep.
And at the same time, like going back to at the same time, it just sucks because they're the ones investing money, and money's so hard to find right now because the coup.
Yep, that is true.
And let's go back to the timeline that we like. I didn't know that David came in talking to me. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Talk to you later. Talk to you later.
Yeah, that will be on Messenger. Like, I did search your name up on Facebook from Spectrum Single. Like, I had a feeling in case my account go down or something got hacked with my Facebook account. Like, I made sure the people that I talked to on there, I would been able to find them on Facebook. But I did find a couple of them on Facebook. Thank God. And Vel wanted them, and she was one that I actually was able to start talking to.
And it wasn't the time that I'm focusing on my singing and studies at that time. And keep asking me, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I was not shy at the same time. I was shy at the same time. I wasn't ready to talk because I don't know what dating is. I don't know what being in a relationship is. I don't know what dating is because I wasn't used to date when I was in high school. I never dated any guy. I was a lone trap under my twin brother's property.
Yeah, I'll be honest, her twin brother is total.
Like,
But
he would never allow me to talk to any other guy unless it's important.
He treated her like property, and I did say, if you're doing that to your sister, then you're an awful human being. That did tell you how you treat girls if you treat your sister like property. So yeah, I'm sorry, but if you do that to your own sister, your own family member, then you're not a good person.
Like, the reason why I learned from your mom saying it's not the appearance, it is about how you treat people. Like, for me, I don't have any relationship history in high school or grade school. I never had a childhood sweetheart, but I do have a childhood best friend that I lost contact in 2006, and during the lockdown, I began to discover his Instagram and Facebook, and he's already based in New York City, which he is honestly the best friend I've never had. Me and my childhood and this childhood friend of mine go to the same school
You
for
want to say his
autistic.
name?
His name, by the way, is Peter. He's also Filipino. His parents was a mix of Filipino and American, and he works at Target. And he is the best friend I honestly never had. I never ever had a best friend until 2014. But that's a long history that I cannot say down the line for now. I'm not really ready to talk about that. And with Peter, me and Peter sang together the prayer. Me and Peter did musicals together, and yeah, just a fun fact. But I'm gonna talk more about of him later on. But to the history about me and David dating, he's a sort of romantic guy, and I'm not a romantic person because I'm a very career-oriented person, and I have a career to maintain. Because in 2016, I was considered competing for a Filipino televised singing competition where I really made my big promise for my dad before he gets old. Like before I gave up singing entirely, because chances are you can never have an opportunity to be what you want to be in your situation right now. There are a lot of people way better than you, and you get changed. That's the hardest thing to deal to change. And I was at that time talking to a friend who I met in Autism Festival while I talked to David, and unfortunately, we remained friends with this Ukrainian guy that I met with in the Autism Festival. We're still friends, and he supports me in David's relationship.
And you went into US in 2016 for Christmas, isn't that right?
No,
Or
just for fall.
Yeah, well, you did get done with Inca, and you were heading back home to the Philippines,
No.
or
I go to US first for a while and then go back there in my home country.
yeah, because I did a video, or not a video chat, but a voice chat with you.
I never had the voice chat with you, David, on October.
In 2016.
No, you didn't.
I remember.
November 2016, David. Come on. I came back to the Philippines. I talked to you on the week.
True.
Are you forgetting now?
It's been
we never talked on October. You just caught me in November, David.
Yeah, but I did send you a friend request in October. You remember?
And I've been waiting for a whole week to deliberate if you are the right guy.
And me and Val, we did sort of flirt in between between October of 2016 with next month make 4 years, and also next month we make 1 year since Val came here to the US. So yeah, so next month we make 1 year. So that's pretty nuts right there.
Actually, it's 2 years now.
No.
1 year that I came here to the South.
I know, but it make a full year since you stayed here in South Carolina.
No. October 4th, David, 2020.
Yeah, I know.
That makes 1 year.
October 4th, 2021 make 1 year.
Yeah, that's what you said. 4 years on US.
Yeah, I was trying to say that.
But when I talked to David, I said I don't feel talking to him, to be honest, because I have fear that he might be a bad person or something.
And I would not.
Or if he's not a bad guy, he might be taken advantage by another Filipina.
And when I brought up to you that I found you on Spectrum Single and that I was also autistic, you remember when I brought that up?
When it comes to that, I wasn't the easy target to flirt with. Now they know that I'm taken, because they know that I'm gonna be alone forever and ever. But they know that I'm in a dating stage with David. But
True.
I'm not ready to love. When it comes to love someone, I'm not really ready to love. I'm very afraid of love, because I don't know what love was about. I don't know what being in a relationship was about. I really want to learn a lot about loving with a significant other.
Mhm.
Like, I am a person that's like, I don't do this out of excitement. I did this out of commitment. I know what I was doing. So, I mean, if I don't know what I was doing, then I have to grow out of that. But with that, when I'm posting about being single is happy because there's some people are not happy with their relationship, which is really true. Like, I remember your mom was sending that. I said, I'm not ready to love. And your mom is pushing me. Like, I remember she messaged me about that. She saw the post about me being single being singles happy in Filipino, my language, and she said like what I told her that I wasn't ready to do this because at that time,
I know, because you would chill with your mom and because of how everything was going in your home country.
no, not only that, but I am in the moment to enjoy myself as a single woman.
I know.
And I still at that time I enjoyed being single. I want to open it up to you about that.
I
I
know.
enjoyed being single, and when the first thing when you're new to that thing, you are not used to that. Then of course you are gonna like, hey, I wasn't used to this. You get uncomfortable at first. That's what I experienced. Like,
That is true. But
I
yeah.
would rather be in that progress rather than the progress that you're excited. In the end, you will have a relationship issue. You know, that's what issues, relationship issues will go if you're happy. You'll they treat it like a fairy tale, but in the end, when you get married, you will have a toxic relationship. Considering that someone's gonna be unfaithful, or one of you's gonna be unfaithful, that's what I'm trying to avoid. Because my parents got into the. I don't want to expose them, but to the point that one of them cheated, and I don't want that to happen. We want to be very careful as possible. We don't want to be unfaithful with one another. And that's my wish prior to marriage, that finding the right person is not just there to say, I love you, I love you, I love you. That this person will be there for me for the rest of my damn life. When we were asked about that in communication arts in college, we were asking, finding the right person. What was the advice they gave you? And I answered that question. So with that, like, of course, you cannot blame someone who is new to relationship, especially who's been single all their life, never experienced never had relationship history in their high school, and they were so immature. You will expect this kind of reaction like what I have before. Like I said, I just miss being single. I just don't want to rush things out when it comes to relationship. That's the reason why you cannot rush in everything.
True.
You just don't want to rush things out. You need to have the progress to get into what you are right now. And I was in 2017 when you got me a gift for my birthday, April 10th, and
that was
Part of the Ocean.
Yeah, that was that hard. Wait, did you brought it with you when you came here to South Carolina?
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of, before I get to you,
it took it
3 months.
It took it 3 months.
And then it took it 6 months.
Yeah, it took 3 months just to get through customs in her country.
They're very perfectionist. I mean, they're very strict about that anyway. But
I know, but it finally got to her, and the day that it got to her is the day that me and her started dating. Literally, the day it came to her, the day that me and you started dating. Isn't that right?
Yeah. And what a point that before we start dating, I began to reflect like, this guy, the other guy will be there for me, but he never chatted with me, never responded with me. But someone who is there to text you, hey, how are you doing? How are you doing? Blah blah blah. So I chose someone who is texted me, but I ignore it because I know that this person cared for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it started with a drawing, and before that gift thing happened, my mom began to ask me who David Mitchell was. I'm like, just want to draw my stuff. And like, of course, a parent will be impressed because I guess a guy who expresses love for their daughter, they're happy, but at the same time, you sometimes need to know more about the person very well because in the end, you don't want to get into trouble that you might not know that this person will have a dirty history.
Mm-hmm.
But me and David talked about our past history, and he talks about his past,
Mm-hmm.
talks about his challenges, but
True.
well, I don't know. I understand that most of your family members were in doubt because we are in a long distance relationship at that time. So, like, at the moment, we enjoy being single in marital status, but relationship status, we were in a dating basis.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in April 10, 2017 to the point that I got your gift.
Yeah, and about a month later, I graduated from high school. About a month to 2 months later, I graduated because April is technically the second to last month before we graduate from high school. Like, same year I started dating her, same year I actually graduated, and I was 18.
And I remember me and my mom having an argument about it, and she said, hey, David's friends persuaded him to date me. Like, I would like to ask you verification about it. Can you tell me about that? Like, how well your high school friends did knew me or something?
I told them about you and the artwork I did of you, and they were pretty amazed. Heck, tell me, I actually have not seen some of my craft members since graduating until we talked to one of my craft members about 2 weeks ago, and I showed them the photos of me and Val, me and you, and they were pretty amazed. Like, they thought I was making. Some of them thought I was making up with making photos, but I was pretty talented with when I was younger making photos. Thought that it was some made a person until I showed them the actual photo of me dating her and in person. And then I have another one that actually was happy for me that have not seen me in about actually 4 years because she graduated back at not 2018, but 2016. She was shocked, and another one that I have not talked to until my second year of high school, we talked to. So yeah, a lot of crazy stuff.
There's a lot of crazy stuff happened, but like they never freaked out. I've been keeping this relationship for 3 years. Some knew about our relationship together, but my nose is hurting. Majority of people in my home country didn't know about the relationship.
Mm-hmm. Because her mom told her to keep it a secret, but I still think that was a pretty awful thing that her mom did to her. Sir, which you have to agree with me that was not right. But
like, she may sound happy in private, but she doesn't want me to do that. Actually, this is my relationship with someone. She doesn't have the right to do that. Like, you have to be proud that someone in your family member, your kid, was in a relationship with someone who's so faithful.
mm-hmm.
Like, there are a lot of people talking about, David is one of the guys that it is hard to find because guys nowadays are just a scammer and a betrayer.
And same with girls too. Like, you have gold diggers, and girls who want to use guys to make money, and then you have some who get pregnant on purpose to make the guy give them money and child support. A lot. So yeah.
And I'm like, at the time in 2018, I didn't know what relationship is, what entering a relationship is. But my dad once told me if you want to enter a relationship, you need to have a job and you need to support yourself. Because one day you have to survive on your own when you get married. You cannot always depend on your parents' stuff until You know, like they can give you something, but when you got on your own, you sometimes need to stand on your own 2 feet in the end, because your parents were getting older and you're not getting any younger no more. You're not younger no more. So, and you're younger no more. My bad, grammar issues. But anyhow, while entering a relationship in 2018, I was career oriented person focusing on my scholarship, and he knew that I'm on a scholarship and he supports my studies, and I didn't know he would act that way.
Yeah, like I would swear that like the thing that upset me was her mom getting her to come here to the U.S. early in 2019.
And
And making her quit her studies. That was the thing that got me upset.
at the same time, some of my choir members hearing about me and you getting in a relationship, and my mom telling me to go to the US on the same year, I said, I am not ready to get married at that time. It's too soon. It's just like you don't just marry to someone you just met for a day.
That is true.
You sometimes need to study harder about the guy that you want to marry or a girl that you want to marry.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you the longer you know the person,
the better you get to know them.
yeah. And at that time, I never talked about my past with him to him virtually until bringing it up last in a couple of months. And also, there's this moment that I was focused on my choir recording. He called me on his birthday. It was night, and then it's morning there his time, and I was really tired. I was really focused for the choir project, and you tended to call me a lot of times.
I know. Was it the 2017 one?
2018.
Yeah. I remember that one. We did talk on my 18th not my 18th birthday, but on my 19th birthday too, back in 2017. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
We did talk. Like I documented that on YouTube. Like for some of you people who've been around since the beginning, and then like we documented that. So yeah.
Like when you call me your girlfriend, I didn't feel like a girlfriend because I am like a workaholic, bachelorette.
I know, but I was proud of you being a workaholic, you know?
Because girls and boys, here's the thing. Don't judge someone who's not romantic, because someone who's not romantic are the ones who bug their ass off, who work their butt off just to to be respected.
Yep.
I'm also a lazy boy person. I'm a lazy girl freak. Call me that way, laugh it out. I don't care.
I could be that too.
I'm a lazy ass person, but at the same time, I have to keep a responsibility attitude on me. And keep the responsibility in the relationship. Actually, open communication. I mean, it's normal. This is an advice for those who wanted to start a relationship. It's normal for us. It's normal for y'all to get overwhelmed, be shy, or feeling shy about it, especially you guys are so new to the relationship. Okay, I mean, just let that be. Just let yourself be in that situation until you reflect and realize, is this the right person that I am talking to? Is this the right person to be my really significant other? Is this the right person that I want to marry in the future? Is this my future husband that I want to have? Is this my future wife that I want to have? You have to think about that. Don't go for too excitement. Don't get too excited. That's a metaphor. Like, let's make love. And the end, your responsibility is in your hands. And then you just left him out. You dumped the girl out. That's a crappy That's a crappy do right there. But
the guys who did want to make love, aka sex with girls, and just dump them after that like to do a one night. Now,
not one night
not one night stands, but guys who trick girls into be in a relationship to have sex with them, and then dumping them. Are pretty awful people.
I understand some hookups and stuff right there. I understand the hookup culture, but if you guys this is a very sensitive topic. We're adults now. I'm an adult too. We're adults. Like, I know if you guys, girlfriend, boyfriend, having sex, please do it protective, on the protection. Do it with protection. That's the reason why girls tended to get pregnant because of no protection with them. So I'm being brutally straightforward to this because some girls and boys are not really disciplined. Painful regret is painful than painful disagree. Disciplined, you know. Being in a relationship takes also discipline. If your girl or your boy wasn't ready to talk, let them be. Don't rush them. Don't push the buttons. Don't push them too much. Don't ask too much if they're not comfortable. That is really normal, especially when you're starting a relationship. You are starting the foundation of relationship. Like, give this person time. Give this person time to reflect on what did they think of you. That's the reason why in a relationship you have to be very faithful. At the same time, you have to be very responsible to your significant other's needs, especially on the dating. You know, we all have different styles of dating. It is because our parents taught us, dating someone, you have to be yourself. Don't be afraid to be awkward. Because if this person stays with you until the break of dawn, this is my take. If this person stays with you until the break of dawn, where you deliver your happy thoughts, your saddest thoughts, and your scariest thoughts to someone, this person was the right one.
And I'd share those thoughts with her. She those thoughts with me. Like we both share both the same thoughts. Isn't that right?
It is like not just time. It is about the time. It's not just time. If you said he doesn't have time because he wasn't ready, he has errands, yet you stood firm to be with this person, that means this person is very serious with you. Not being serious because there's no playfulness in there. At the same time, the patience will always be there. Just look for a person who is patient enough to understand you. You don't go for, I understand some good looking people. Please go look for someone who is good looking inside, who is patient, who is there to understand your situation, and who is there to listen. Listen is important. Because if you want to know yourself, if you want to be with the significant other, you have to listen to any sort of emotions. At the same time, they don't depend on you. Their happiness doesn't depend on you, but it depends on themselves and yourself. If this person at the same time, loves to give you space, this is a misconception. If their partner was asking, give me some space, emotional space to think, excuse me, they think about, do we have relationship issues? Or you might talk to another person, even if you tell them it's your friend or colleague. That's a misconception right there, am I correct?
You're right.
Dude, they're humans. They're individual people too. They have a different life than what you have. You have your own life. I have my own life. So do he.
Oh, that's true.
We're going to say respect. If this person's not ready to talk to you, understand and respect. Because at the end of the day, this person needs individual freedom. This is like this if you love a person. Freedom. Set this person free. At the same time, you teach this person how to fly. And that's why I learned in the relationship though. And it's in 2019 to the point that I came here and became here in California. Christmas, then 2020, the pre-pandemic approaching. That's the time that the big day started. Me and David started to meet each other in person after a lot of deliberation.
Yep, and that was crazy. We met for first time 3 years after we started dating. Or technically, yeah, if I'm right. Yeah, but 3 years after we started dating that we met each other in person. And
I was a very shy person at that time. I'm still carrying my guard up. I hold my guard up so firmly at that time when I met you. I carried my guard with me, like that a metaphor. I don't want to put my guard down because I'm still afraid of love at that time.
anybody can be.
Until this unexpected proposal happened, but I said I wasn't ready for it. Not because that you're a scaredy freak, but it's just that I'm thinking about what would your family members thought of me. What would everybody in your family think of me? Considering I am a foreigner.
I know.
And considering I am a complete different culture. I have a different culture than y'all different culture. Well, culture had nothing to do with that badly, but how we would get along because of different beliefs that we have. You know? We may be autistic, the same we have autism, but we still have differences together, okay, David?
That is true.
You know, this is one advice. Differences should not be the source of toxicity. It should be the source of uniqueness.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah.
Because differences will make you learn, and differences will make your individuality shine. This is the reason why individuality comes first before before unity with one another. Like if this is one thing I learned. If you love the person, you really love for who he or she was. You don't love this person because you thought this person might be this person you wanted him to be. Do you get the context?
That's true. But yeah.
But that's nothing that happened that I learned, that we learned together. We learned to love our genuinity. We learned to be genuine at the same time. Like if family members doesn't like me, well, because they don't know me fully, I cannot blame them. But do you want to tell more about how your family Oh, actually, I'm gonna show you how my family members thought of you. You're a sweet person, and that's what they say. You're a loving person. But there's some of my classmates thought of you that you're a sweet person, you're a loving person. And some of my friends in school loved you for who you are. And
I know.
my core members thought like, hey, they're a little bit shocked about me and you in the relationship. So they told me, pray about it.
I know.
And I did.
Some of my family member and friends think you a sweet person, but a hard-working person, and sometimes you can be hard-headed. That's something that you can get with it. My mom is too. I can be hard-headed too,
We all are hard-headed, but we have versions of hard-headedness.
That is true.
But
everybody found you sweet, talented, and a lot of my friends did love your singing voice. Like literally, some of them loved the singing voice that you had.
But I need to ask. So, what do you think? Like before I came here, or what did they thought of me when you thought that when you think about when you know that I might come here by surprise?
Oh, that was shocking to me. Some of them were hoping that it went well, and it did.
At the same time that traditionally a guy needs to come to their princess, right? The prince will go to their princess, but it's an inversion for us. We flipped the script, and I decided to go to your place.
And it make it different too, Like breaking the stereotype,
Like they say, hey, it's gonna be. Some say, hey, it's very weird. Not weird. It's very this. I'm very far right now about the term. Like the guy should be going to his girl's place. Like Filipino traditions, like like a girl needs to sit like a princess, and the prince will come to his princess. Just like you have to come to my castle. That a metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
But we decided to do that, to flip the script because you were at work, and I myself was capable enough to be independent. I wanted to prove everybody, especially my own family, wrong by taking the challenge to ride on the plane all by my damn self.
And you proved them wrong, and you made it. Like you made it. That blew my mind when you did that by yourself.
Uh-huh.
That was a big step forward.
I need to ask, what did they think of? What did they thought of me when they thought I'm gonna go here before I came to fly here?
They were looking forward to it. That's for sure.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. And I'll be honest, from talk about 9/11, then talk about how segregation and wrongdoing to the autistic community, now to relationship. We went from September 11 today all the way into talking about dating.
Because there's some people will be would wonder what a lot that why we're able to bring this up.
True, like, and Jane, we prove a lot of people wrong,
And what do you think of I know your relatives, specifically your stepdad side of the family, done told you about me.
They think of you as a good person. Like, some of them actually approved of you, and some of them just said, boy, probably going to be another singer in the family, because we do have some people who can sing, but some of them really mess up their voices from smoking. But you did pretty damn good.
But seriously, what about your cousin of your stepdad, from your stepdad's side of the family? Because I remember your stepdad and your mom, your stepdad's sister, I guess, that talking to your mom about time about me. I left my home country, I left my opportunity, and left my ambitions behind just to be with you. She done told her like it is really hard for someone like me, but for her to see me sacrificing all of that just to be with you.
True.
Can you tell them about it? Because I don't know the information correctly.
About my family?
Rebecca, your cousin.
So yeah, we look forward to it, and she was happy for me because back when I was younger, a lot of people know that how I felt cooped up, felt like I would not find love, and I eventually did with you. So yeah.
Like seriously, is it true that I left my dreams behind, I left my opportunity behind in my home country just to be with you? It was like, to them, it's like a sacrifice.
It is. I did actually sacrifice a lot myself too.
I did sacrifice like everything. I did sacrifice my family just to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
And we do sacrifice together, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you see that you regret it, that's suffering right there.
Mm-hmm.
Sacrifice is not bad. Actually, sacrifice, example of a sacrificial lamb, where the people of the 9/11 attacks were the ones.
It's today. It's the 20th anniversary.
Their sacrificial lamb.
Mm-hmm.
That taught us to expect the unexpected, and at the same time, make the best out of your life, because life's too short. Life's too short to wait. Life's too short not to pursue your dreams. And we just learned it when we attended the crime prevention thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, safe together, and you love train.
Yeah.
At the same time, you love, like, of course, it's like what I learned from Demo's fiance. Life's too short to argue.
And didn't know it is probably going to be a while before Demo or Demetria do a live stream for the American Rail Club.
Oh, by the way, I want to give a shout out to your friend Demo. Hey, Demo. We just received your message last 2 weeks, and I was so happy. We may not be that close friend, but I consider you as my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Demo, I love you for being genuine.
Mm-hmm. We love you, man,
We love you, dude.
and we hope you get back soon.
I came across watch American Rail Club thing because of David, and
True.
I just don't mind. I just helped him watch the live stream after I watched the race, and I thought to get to know more about you,
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I need to get back to the question I'm asking like your cousin,
Mm-hmm.
mom and stepdad side. What did they thought about me when I came here?
They actually think you were a good person, and all the stuff I told them about you and all the artwork they seen of you, they actually said that you were a good person for me, and you are.
Because I know that you have difficulty finding the girl that you wanted to have, but
Mm-hmm.
me, I don't care if I get married or not, but I didn't know that I was helpful to you, and
That is true.
I didn't know. I mean, you were helpful to me, and we're helpful for one another,
That
just
is
for
true.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember telling David, I won't give up on you.
That is
David
true.
thought that it was just a word,
And more than that.
and I imagine that if David took it seriously or not. So
But
I'm excited about it.
I know, and bringing it back up what I said earlier about my teacher, I did prove her wrong on a lot of
Oh, his
shit.
teacher, McNoodles?
Yep, Miss Noodles, or AKA Miss Nettles.
Noodles. I call her Noodles. Because she looks like a noodles.
But yeah, she was a pretty messed up teacher. She treated my coworker
Like
with
crappy
her.
cuckoo.
She still treat autistics like crap. Like my coworker Michael, with another fellow YouTuber man. Shout out to you.
Actually, you don't treat your students like that. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
You go back watching the Freedom Riders, you will understand what a real teacher was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
That is right.
I wanted to be in her situation, but I won't treat my students like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because one day when you become a mother and you teach your kids like that, sucks to be you.
And she is a mom of 4.
Imagine that you're teaching a student with autism in a bad light, treating them like crappy cuckoo, and yet you became a mother of 4.
Yeah, she had a kid back in 2020,
That's
and
harsh.
she is now having another kid now, probably toward the end of the year, beginning of 2022. So she probably going to be having her 4th kid.
I mean, think about it. Think about it, ma'am.
Or technically, she is having her 4th kid. My bad.
Think about it, ma'am.
And I'm already counting it.
I'm sorry to call you out, by the way, but this is something to tell you. Think about your students as your own kid.
Exactly.
If you know how to raise your kids right, apply it to your teaching. That's very simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
I may not be in your situation, but I am also a student. Think about being a teacher is a noble job, not like a Karen job.
Exactly.
You ain't a Karen, and you were not born to be a Karen, and you were not born to be violent to other kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you did that to your students, you would take it out on students. I know you take it out your frustration to other students because you thought that it will attain your peace. Actually, it's not really true. You just grow a feet. You don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Miss Noodles, Miss Nettles, whatever it is, please. I hope you can change. I hope you would realize how painful it is to hurt a child, a student, and to traumatize and to put them into trauma because of your drama.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Being a teacher shouldn't be a dominant position. It should be a role modeling position. You are a role model to your students. You have to be a role model for them. You help them. At the same time, you don't make discipline a painful discipline.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
You help them grow.
And sad thing is, that go on to any school in the world, like anywhere. Like if you're autistic and you're in a school system,
Mm-mm.
I'm
And
sorry.
the school system is stupid.
You're still going to get segregated. That in any country. But
And
yeah,
I was experiencing a lot of that, like segregation. I mean, I wasn't segregated. But-
you might have. You technically was, but it's very hard to see it. Like if
yeah.
you.
No. I'm in the same class. I'm in the same class and I studied in the Philippines. This is a different education system there.
I know.
That's when I was in kindergarten. I got along with them, but I didn't feel I felt segregated if I'm in a group of people with kids.
I did not feel segregated in high school and back then, or technically I did, but that was not until I made it to high school and when I was around 17 and 18, I started realizing saying, hey, it ain't right. Like it was between 17 and 18 that I started realizing saying, hey, it ain't right. Like realizing that I'm being segregated. And I started realizing it and started noticing that this ain't right. Like it took me a long time before I started realizing, and it sucked me.
And also, like, I felt like if I'm not feeling segregated, I was imprisoned by my own twin brothers who were classmates until high school. And I'm like, I never got the freedom that I wanted. I never get to hang out with my own classmates. Instead, I ended up separating myself from my real classmates to talk with younger classmates, with younger students,
Mm-hmm.
which I had the freedom when I'm with them. And that's the time I know how to stand up. I know how to take a stand against my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did talk to everybody in my class, I said, is this what you learn from your parents? You learn to be a trashy person? Guess what? They do not know that I can take a stand.
Mm-hmm.
But
Joked on them. So yeah, but
I know it's getting personal and deep, and at the same time,
yeah, we're
on the verge of too much talking.
and 2 hours. Like
Yeah.
it already almost 3:30 in the morning. Like literally, and my sister actually probably taking me to the barber shop to get it a little bit more perked up. So yeah, because you
Mushroom haircut.
yeah, you still need to learn a little bit how to set it a little flatter. But yeah.
You done told me that you don't want to cut this part.
Yeah, the cowlick.
Because you might like a porcupine.
Yeah. That thing, the cowlick right here does perk up into like a ball.
Like a little bit short, like.
But yeah. Now, we hope you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed the live stream, and I hope everybody remember what happened 20 years ago to today.
Yeah.
Never forget, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.
Hey, Day, are you ready?